Welcome to week 4 of the Pisces lunar cycle. Today we're going to talk about the last quarter moon in Capricorn, who is here to help us make some pretty important choices. What and who is coming with us into the future that we're building, and what needs to be released so that our visions that we've been coming up with over the last 3 weeks are finally able to take shape. This is the final stage of the Pisces lunar cycle. Pisces dreams big. It envisions, it imagines, and it idealizes, as we know. The whole theme of the Pisces cycle is what needs to be released in order to idealize. When we release, be that through voluntary loss or voluntary shifts or involuntary loss or involuntary shifts, we free up our time, we free up our resources of money, of energies, of emotions in order to start dreaming about what's possible for us moving forward. But Capricorn wants to build. It knows that whatever dreams we have can't go anywhere without a proper structure that will actually make our wish into our reality. So this week is really a huge point of reflection. What needs to go so that our foundation is strong enough to support what we want to create? Maybe it's outdated habits, maybe it's unsustainable commitments, or even relationships that are not anymore in alignment with our future. Last week we had the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, and that was an opportunity for us to see whatever was toxic in our world, whatever was not working for us in our world, whatever was not serving us in our world truly, or taking away from the resources that we have so that we are able to manage our own health, manage our own mental well-being, so that we're then able to be of service to the people that need us, to like people we work with, our children, our pets, and also so that we're able to be of service to ourselves to really expand upon our dreams and take them even further. So as we move into this last week, we're going to move through the energies of Capricorn and Aquarius, and we're going to finalize the week with re-entering into Pisces before we finish off this cycle. Capricorn is about the structure and the framework. So what can we start to put into place that will build this solid foundation for us to be able to start taking action on the dreams that have been coming up and on the things. So as we have kind of moved through some release this month, now we are being asked to take action. Next week, we have a solar eclipse in the sign of Aries, and that starts off a whole new cycle of growth. That's a whole other story, because that Aries eclipse is actually wrapping up the last 18 months of our life, where we have had this spark come up in our world as to what changes were afoot, as to what we wanted to start dream, as to what the next chapter was going to look like. And we're wrapping that up next week. So as we're wrapping up this new beginning that started for us about 2 years ago now, 18 months ago, this last cycle in Pisces is really an opportunity to make some major reflection as to all the things that are needing us to really use that discernment of are those things going to help us moving forward with our vision, no matter how hard it is, no matter how sad it is. Are there ways maybe that we don't necessarily have to fully release and let go? Maybe it's more of adaptations or switching things around and making concessions in order to figure out how we can put in the solid things that are going to get us where we need to be. So what routines can we start to put into place? What habits can we start to put into place now that will start to help us act as if we've already made that start? As I've said, next week will be a really big gesture, big foot into the door of the new beginnings that we've already started to create for ourselves. How can we support that here? And because we're working through Pisces, how can we fully support, using Capricorn's energy, the final release of what is no longer coming with us? What does that need to look like? In my world, I think that needs to look like my new beginnings that happened 18 months ago was the start of cycle points, was the start of me really having great sparks of creativity and insight as to what I wanted to create, but I had a lot of things that I needed to move through and begin to release, or begin to feel my way around to find out what I would have to release in order to make those dreams come true. And I think most of us are starting to understand what we've been through in the last 2 years of our lives, or how much we've evolved and matured and developed and grown, so that we are now in a really good place to start understanding, all right, I'm going to be firm about what I'm releasing, and I'm going to put up some solid structure and boundary around that with some solid rules and some solid regulations, so that I'm able to focus on what I want to achieve in this lifetime, my reputation, my public image, and the legacy that I hope to achieve in doing so. that's really what Capricorn energy is all about. Next month, when we do enter that when we do enter the solar eclipse and we move through the new cycle of Aries, we will be given an opportunity at the end of that cycle with another last quarter moon in Capricorn, which will really allow us to solidify that spark and the framework for what we've already started to build. But next week, we're really going to put that out there. So in my experience, and as I'm posting these videos, and I've just started to really come out within the last 2 months and the last 2 cycles to start to share what my framework is going to look like and how I'm learning how to build my offerings into a sustainable format, into something that people might find useful. And there's a lot of room there for me to grow and to adapt and to always continue to shift and change and go. But I truly understand now which of my resources, my attachments to other people, my bonds to other people, past limiting beliefs and past storylines that I've been really tied to, how I can finally release those things and put myself forward in the things that I want to create for myself in this lifetime. So my friends, this moment is a moment to use discernment and really allow yourself to follow through on some choices that are going to help set you up for the success that you need. They're going to help set you up so that next month when that creative spark comes in, you're free of the energies that needed to be released to the best of your abilities, and you have a framework there that's going to support that. You have something you can hold on to that's going to help you manage your emotions and your time and your money and your energy, whatever it might be, so that you're able to fully focus your energies into this into the new version of what it is that you're building and creating moving forward. What are you releasing this week? What has been coming up for you, and what are you finally ready to let go of? I think for me personally, the idea of me building a new business and letting go of a lot of things that I've moved through, not just in the last 2 years, but since 2020 and from my last business, and moving to a new location and really focusing on moving through, like transitioning with my children and my family, and moving through some familial loss and a lot of changes that happened in my relationships. I finally am at a point where I have some I don't want to say control over my emotions, but some eagle eye on my emotions, where I can look down and see how things have progressed, where we are, and then I can let go. I can let go with compassion, and I can let go with trust in myself that I'm going to be able to see myself forward in what it is that I want to do. And I don't need to hold on to things from the past because they are safe. I can go after and take the risk, which will, again, that's going to come up next month when we move through a whole new cycle and a whole new year ahead. Aries next week brings in a whole new zodiac year. So not only are we working with an eclipse energy next week, but we're also working with just the beginning of a whole new cycle with a whole new 12 months for us to grow and expand upon the dreams that we have been receiving this month for the last three weeks. What are you releasing this week? And how can you set up the framework for yourself so that you're able to then take action next month, and then at the end of the month be able to have a framework around that action to really solidify your future? What's idealized? What's being released? Let me know. And I can't wait to enjoy and embark on this new journey with all of you.